Hi ladies and gents, Michael Burhan here. I am in the park with the nephews today. Just basically spending time with the little men for my brother, giving a bit of babysitting and stuff. And I wanted to talk about a few things, and the reason why I wanted to talk today is I want to do like a theme video today, and today's theme video is friendship. It's to kind of clarify everything that happened on the whole Twin Perfect situation. I've spoke to everybody involved, had a Skype conversation with Rosetter, spoken with Fungo, and discussed the whole situation. Now, I've gotten Fungo's permission to talk about this, and also to release the Skype logs, because the Skype logs were about him. I haven't got Rosetter's permission as of yet, and the reason being was because the Skype conversation, in my opinion, I think he doesn't want to be looking less credible. Now, I want to basically point something out here. This whole issue started over a girl. This is the reason why your favourite group and the people behind the real Silent Hill experience basically ended up just parting ways and not talking to one another again. And it's all over a girl. Someone who's like with Fungo currently at the moment. And also the fact that Rosetter was basically, as he puts it, he thought he was in love with her. Now, I want to basically touch on the whole issue of abuse first. Everyone's going around saying Fungo abused his girlfriend and did this and did that. This issue was made public. Firstly, I want to point out something. To say something like that without any evidence backing it up is slander. Okay? And it's also demoralizing. There was no evidence. There were no photos of her bruised and abused apart from what Ross has said, and people are taking what he says to face value. And a lot of people have argued at me and said, well, you're taking what Fungo says for face value. No, I haven't. And the reason being is I've actually been given privy to certain information, such as a contract that was signed by Fungo and Rosetter in regards to the future of the Twin Perfect videos that were done as part of that retrospective. Now, I want to clarify a few things and go into like the whole situation in terms of the abuse thing. I was in a very abusive relationship for 8 years. I've been in loads of abusive relationships, and the reason being is you've had abuse is when one side wants to control the other. That can be via what they're saying in terms of words. They can be regards to physical abuse, and it's ways to basically get control over another person. What's up?
I'm stuck. When I was going up there, I'm trying to go with Rion, and I was there, and then I was trying to go up, and I can't do it.
Well, ask Rion and get Rion to help you. Go on. Sorry about that. That was my nephew. And I want to point that out. Okay, abuse is a form of control. It's when you want control over the other person. I don't know Fungo's personal situation, but I can tell you 100% that from every stream I've watched, from every video I've seen where he's jokingly taken like a kind of a stab at this, he's been claimed to have been abusive. They look like a happy couple who are in love with each other. That's the thing, right? From someone who's been there. Abuse means that you're basically being destroyed from the inside out. No person wants to be in an abusive relationship, but sometimes it happens. Now, that's part one of that, right? Now, number two, the whole being in love with thing. This is the thing when it comes to friendships, no matter what happens with Rosetter, he overstepped his boundaries in terms of Fungo's relationship by one, talking to his, at the time, his best friend's girl. Number two, believing every single word that she says to the point that he actually went down to his home, Fungo's home, to go and pick her up. And number three, there was cheating involved. He did this, this whole white knight thing in an idea of trying to be selfish. He did it in terms of selfish gain, in terms of what he wanted out of the relationship, which was he was hoping to break up their relationship so he could be in a relationship with this young lady. This is the thing. Doesn't matter who started it. Doesn't matter how it was done. It doesn't matter who did what. All that matters here is one guy who was the best friend of the other guy decided he wanted to overstep his boundaries. Now, If that was me and it was any of my friends that I know, people that I'm close to, that I call family, who try to overstep their boundaries and try to be a very uncomfortable person to the person that I'm currently dating, my lovely girlfriend, and the woman I consider the woman of my dreams. And it's such an amazing relationship we're in currently at the moment, because, you know, she does everything for me. She loves me. You know, she will do everything in her power to make sure I'm happy, and it's, which I tell her not to, but you know what I mean. It's a positive relationship. Now, if any of my friends did that, I would be pissed off to no end. And I would do stupid stuff like, now we're going into the whole thing of logging into the AdSense account, which he was given login details for, and changing all the passwords and address to Fungo's address and passwords. Let me explain something to you. You fuck me over and I'm in a fit of rage, I'm going to do whatever I can to fuck you over. It's not the clever thing. You're not using this, you're using this. It's what you call the lizard brain. It's what the type of part of your brain that you use when you're angry and you want to be aggressive towards someone and you want to hurt them. He felt slighted, he felt hurt. So he does that. And Fungo has admitted this to me, right? And I've said to him, dude, you shouldn't have done it. You know, I've chastised him for it. We've talked about it. We discussed it in long details. He agrees with me. It was a stupid move. But he also did it because he wanted his buddy to talk to him about a situation that he was involved in Fungo in, which shouldn't have been involved in the first place. Now, number 3. Well, is it number 4? Well, whatever. Another stage in this is he said, she said bullshit. This whole situation deteriorated because one person was saying that another person was abusing them. I don't know who said it first. I don't know if Rosetter, from what I've heard from one side, it's Rosetter was manipulating her to say this sort of thing. Another side is it was, you know, Fungo's girlfriend that did this. All I know is the fact in this whole situation is a person was screaming and alleging abuse, yet the other person involved did not, one, call the police. Okay, if it was really that bad, he didn't call the police. 2, he decides to go all the way down to her home to pick her up. And 3, tries to manipulate the situation for his own benefit. That's what he did. He was so obsessed with this person, he decided to do that. Okay, so we've clarified here 3 things so far. There was a relationship. Someone screams abuse. The other person decides for his own benefit that he wants to be the white knight so he can go and grab this girl and take her as his own. Not good, bruh. Not good. Now, also, we can guarantee the fact that the other person felt slighted, so he decided to do something stupid. No money was taken, no money was withdrawn. Fungo didn't take all the AdSense money for the real Silent Hill experience or the Twin Perfect channel. I want to point that out, right? Now, let's go on to the next part of this story, okay? The next part of this story, we'll then go into the whole he said bullshit. It's been clarified by Rosetter, it's been clarified by Fungo, it's been clarified by me, by the attacks of people who are calling me, you're a Fungo guy, and you're making disparaging remarks against Twin Perfect. No, I'm a rational thinker. I sit down and I assess a situation from all angles, okay? People are taking stuff that I've said and they've gone to the Twin Perfect Nebula forum, and they are basically posting stuff that I've said with little Photoshop remarks and deletes and stuff on there to basically say that I've said this or I've said that. I have stated this. I respect Twin Perfect's work. I respect all the who involved. Or also the fact Versailles has nothing to do with this situation because she wasn't involved when the initial situation happened. This situation is between Rosetter and Fungo. It's not between Twin Perfect and it's not between the Fungo experience. I'm going to point that out here, people. It's between Rosetter and Fungo. Now, let's move on. Fungo showed me a contractual agreement, which I'm not allowed to show any of that, I'm sorry, stating that he was paid and $446, I believe it was, for the real Silent Hill experience, and also his own videos that he did for the Twin Perfect channel. His video, it was then agreed by Rosetter for him to have his videos taken off of monetization on that channel. which I don't know if he's actually adhered to that part of the agreement. That's between those two. And that Fungo would receive no more royalties from the real Silent Hill experience. Let me get this straight for you people. If he didn't have anything to do with this, if he had nothing to do with the real Silent Hill experience, then why was he given a contract to sign telling him he would receive no further royalties from that project? It's a bit fishy here. Now, let's go on to the next part of this. I know it's a long video, I do apologise. I've also got my nephews screaming in the background wanting me to go play with them, which I'm going to do. Let's go to the next part of this experience. The next part is where this is the repercussions of this whole situation. Rosetter says that Fungo has been publicly berating him. I haven't seen it because I'm actually a friend on Fungo's Facebook, his personal Facebook, which Fungo chooses to give out to anyone that he deems, you know, a friend. I'm also friends with Rosetter on Facebook, probably going to change after this video. And I'm also subscribed to Fungo's page. Now, I've basically checked on that. I haven't seen any details. I've had a few trolls give me information like, oh, Fungo has said that Rosetter wants to take him out of the real Silent Hill experience and they want to shoot it with Versailles in it. If Fungo said that, so what? And? What does that got to do with the price of water? Nothing. The whole ideal here is the whole besmirching of another individual and taking away their self-worth from the videos that you've currently done. The project of the real Silent Hill experience, right? Basically, Rosetter said he hijacked the project. He took the project away from Fungo when Fungo was initially planning it. Fungo has admitted that Rosetter did all the editing. Fungo did a little bit of it, the most of it was done by Rosetter. They have said as well that they both contributed towards the script. He's also stated that Foos had nothing to do with it apart from what was written for him, right? Each individual presented their piece for this project. It was a work done by 3 individuals. This project was then broken up because of a personal issue that one person decides to take to another. And I'm sorry for Rosetter, he was in the wrong. He should not have been messing with another man's relationship. And without proof, right, without calling the authorities, without doing something to prove that this young lady was in an abusive relationship, he goes all gun-ho because he was looking to get something out of it. No matter what you say to me, that's what the case was. I have had friends try and do that to me. I've had a friend of mine trying to get with my ex-wife at one point because he thought it would be fun to try it on with her, even though he was supposed to be a friend of mine. Does this make anything to you guys? Right, in the end of the day, no matter what happens, a personal relationship between a man and a woman is between a man and a woman. If they're in an abusive relationship, she needs to call the cops. Right, that was never proven. And in terms of, you know, so that's that whole issue, that slanderous issue there, is still slanderous because you are trying to say stuff without merit. There is no evidence backing this up. And the last thing about this, right, and which is what I'm going to be putting to bed in regards to this whole situation, is trolls are manipulating it so they can see these two argue it out and fight. This was never Rosetter versus Fungo. This was the Twin Perfect fans versus Fungo's fans. In the end, you need to use this, people, and understand exactly what the situation's been. Fungo has been very open about his situation. He's been very open with me when I've asked him questions about said situation. He has never lied to me about it or said that he's the one who's in the wrong here. You know, he said that things have happened that have led to his relationship with his friend to just basically die. To the point where he felt like, you know, that he is slated, and anyone would. If you're a man, if you're a woman and someone does you wrong, you're going to tell me you're going to sit back and let them do that? No. We all do stupid shit. We all do. But it doesn't give anyone the right to sit down and slander someone's name and the importance that he had on the project. And this is what I was saying. The project was done by 3 people. The project was written by 2 of them. The project was edited majority by 1 person, with the other person helping out, assisting, which was Fungo. Right? You can even see it in the fucking outtakes, people. Now, take this as you will. Call me a Fungo fanboy. But that's all the information that you guys are going to be getting on the situation, and that's all the information that you need to clarify it. Now, the Skype logs, I am not going to release them publicly on my Facebook page, but I've released them in a group that I'm a part of called Magus X1 on Facebook. It's the group of Anthony Magus himself, one of the first YouTubers on YouTube. And the reason why I posted it there, because one, if I post it in the Twilight Nebula, you're going to have the trolls sitting there calling me names, which is when I tried to go in there and explain myself and explain the situation. I had all these trolls sitting there calling me all sorts of names, so fuck that for a laugh. Two, I also want to point out, you made it public, right? Doesn't matter if it was in the Twilight Nebula forum, Rosetter, you made it public when you went out and started lashing out about this, right? And three, you are not the hero in this situation. You tried to take another man's woman, right? You tried to break up a relationship for your own selfish needs. I don't care what the reason behind it was. You were going to benefit from it. It is a selfish decision. You made a selfish decision. Now, for those, if you want to go to facebook.com/groups/MagusX1, MAGUS X1. Go to that group forum there. All the information's over there. I am done with the situation. I want to say everybody who's been patient, who's been listening to my opinion, thank you. I want to give a big thank you to Fungo, who's been providing me with all the information. And I've also thank you to Rosetter, who's also been providing me with the information, including the Skype logs, where we had our conversation about it. And I can guarantee you guys, even if it was me and I did this shit, I would expect to be called out on this bullshit, because it is bullshit, right? And then this is why the internet has gotten so damn fucking ridiculous, because no man, no woman, no person deserves that much abuse that Fungo has been getting in regards to the situation. Now grow the fuck up and start reasonably treating each other well. And for those who want Fungo out of Twin Perfect, here's an idea to kind of resolve the whole situation, so no one gets any piece of the pile, no one gets any recognition. Delete the Twin Perfect videos of the real Silent Hill experience and just redo them. Then no one can cry. Then no one can whinge. Then no one can sit there and moan about the fact that Fungo did nothing. Okay? For someone who was going through homelessness at the time, he did a fucking hell of a lot. So there you go, guys. I'm done. I'm out. This is Michael Burhan for another video, saying that I will see you again soon, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.